Welcome back to another episode of Podcast with Mark45. Today, we are reviewing the highly anticipated movie of this year. Apart from Godzilla x Kong, it is, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, this review should have been out a little bit earlier, but we have scheduling issues and other stuff going on, so as both of you guys are on your phones looking for images to show the audience, I'm going to briefly explain to you what exactly you're going to expect from this episode. Just like the Godzilla x Kong review, we're going to be reviewing the movie, non-spoilery, and then we're going to dive straight into the abyss of spoilers. And then after that, we have a lot of stuff to show you guys. Trust me. I said in my main channel video that I'm going to deliver with this movie. Don't worry. Wait till you see. I'm looking at a pretty good box in front of us right now. It's behind the camera. You're going to find out what's in that box very soon. So that's the gist of this episode, and my editor is going to extract that bit at the end and make that a main channel video. So if you just want to see that bit, you can wait for the video to drop on my main channel. So that being said, let's review this. Let's do it. So let's start off with a bit of context, a bit of the background. This movie has been very, very hyped because of one particular reason. Deadpool is now in the MCU. Back then, the first two Deadpool movies were under Fox, and then Disney acquired Fox. And so Ryan Reynolds was like, this is my chance to go into the MCU. And then the movie almost didn't happen. If you didn't watch any of the interviews, basically they were talking about how the director, Sean Levy, and Ryan Reynolds were brainstorming ideas for this movie, but they just couldn't figure out a good story. So they were going to actually pitch to Kevin Feige and say that, let's not do it because we can't come up with something good. And then Hugh Jackman called and said, I want to come back as Wolverine. And that's basically what saved the movie. So we can all thank Hugh, or this movie wouldn't exist today. So yeah, with that aside, did this movie deliver on expectations? I mean, when the trailer first came out, everyone was psyched because there's a lot to expect. Hugh Jackman was coming back to play Wolverine after it's a long-awaited return. Also, all the other stuff, Deadpool interacting with MCU characters and all that. So I would gladly say, right off the get-go, this is going to cause some controversy in my fan base. I apologize, but this is number one. This is the number one movie for me this year. So it goes Deadpool and Wolverine, and then Godzilla x Kong. I know a lot of you guys are loyal to Godzilla x Kong, but I gotta be honest here. I just enjoyed this movie a lot more than Godzilla x Kong. So it's this one, Godzilla x Kong, and then I still have not decided the next few movies after. I don't know. There's been a lot of hit or misses this year, but this movie has definitely been a hit. So before you guys raise your pitchforks, go flock to the comments to start sending me hate comments, relax. I still have lots of content planned for the Monsterverse, but I will also want to praise a lot about this movie.
I think overall it was pretty good. There's some characters I think that were underused, but there were a lot of characters without giving away too much. So it's hard to give screen time to everyone. So it makes sense, but I do wish certain characters got more screen time, and also some of the motivations for the villains weren't super clear either. So I wish the villain side got more character development, or just stronger motives, I guess. Thanos did set the expectations really high for the antagonist. So after Endgame, most of the villains have, in my opinion, been kind of a letdown because their motivations are I just want to destroy the world or something. I don't know. What was Kang from Quantumania? What was his motivation?
He just wanted to escape the quantum realm, get to the surface world.
I guess take over everything. Okay, maybe, but yeah, it's kind of generic, right? So I think after Thanos, all the villains kind of just feel really very mid to me, and that includes this movie too.
So you think overall this movie delivered on the hype and the expectations? People are comparing this with No Way Home.
I think I actually like No Way Home better, but this one's pretty good as well.
They're about the same for me. Like
In terms of like big multiverse movie, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe like I'd say I don't remember if we did a No Way Home review. We did not,
We
right?
did not,
We did
no.
not. Okay. Well, No Way Home, in my opinion, is like an 8.5 or a 9, and then Deadpool is probably like an 8 for me.
I think No Way Home had that theatrical experience, when, yeah, it's been many years. When the 3 Spider-Men popped up, everyone was like, whoa, the whole theater was freaking out and all that. And then I guess this movie had some of that theater moments too, I would assume. Like the theater we watched in had a lot of laughing, a lot of cheering. Was that it? Just laughing and cheering?
Don't remember. It's been a week.
Oh, yeah. I think you said someone was dancing in the
Oh, yeah. Someone was dancing to the opening sequence, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. Yeah, that was quite funny. The guy behind us just stood up and started dancing. It was so funny. We couldn't, like, I'm surprised he did it because, the theater we were in was, not the most spacious. So I'm surprised he did it. But let me ask you this. Since I pissed off my fan base, a good portion, do you think this is better than Godzilla x Kong, in your opinion?
Yes. I've also now pissed them off.
Fight us.
But to be fair, I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, so I haven't even seen all the movies, right? I've only seen a couple of them, and then you showed me a recap or like clips of the others. So
Well, you watched King of Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong in full.
yeah, but I skipped the first two,
Yeah.
which I do kind of want to see the original Godzilla, but then I already know the plot,
The
so
2014
kind of
one,
defeats
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not the original, like the original for this.
Monsterverse,
yeah.
yeah. Because like here's how I want to compare it. Deadpool and Wolverine is great because it has the actual story, whereas Godzilla x Kong was about the spectacle. You go in there to watch big giant monsters fight in a WWE style Royal Rumble match. That's what you're here for. This movie's here both for the story and, of course, also I would say for the spectacle as well. They have some cool moments, but for sure, this movie's about the action and the story. Godzilla x Kong was mainly about the action and less of the story, because let's be honest, not everyone's going to care about the story. So both are good. Both are good. But I definitely had a better time watching this film. I think this movie also has a lot of rewatch potential. A lot of movies, sometimes you just watch it once and you call it a day and you just never go back to it again. I think this movie has rewatch potential. When it comes on digital, I can already see a bunch of people like binging it over and over again. I think just that's due to the pacing. I think it's paced pretty well.
Also, there are a bunch of references throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And stuff. So you can, at the second watch, you're gonna catch a lot more of them. You're like, now I know what this means, or like yeah. So
Actually, wait, I didn't even ask you at all. Your thoughts on the movie?
There's this one like aspect to a certain character that, like, near like the, I guess 3/4 through the way through the movie, it kind of like it was too much. But other than that, the movie was good.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And the big question: better than GXK?
Yeah.
Because like I put a poll on a community post. I was like, what did everyone think of the movie? And one of the last options was Godzilla x Kong was better. I'm surprised. I was not surprised that there was a good percentage of people that hit that, and all the comments were saying, "Oh, in my opinion, it's better." Blah blah blah. So I'm glad I have a loyal fan base to one specific franchise, but I gotta have variety here, and I gotta say, I think with this movie, the MCU is actually sort of on its comeback arc. Because let's be honest, the previous movies before this, they weren't it. So good to see them picking back up on the feet. And most importantly, people were afraid when Disney acquired Fox and they were going to do Deadpool 3, and they're like, are they going to turn it into a PG-13 movie? Is it going to be, no, that R rating is going to be gone? We can happily say that no, they have kept the R rating. There's a lot of swearing and a lot of violence, but that's what you get from a Deadpool movie. I'm glad under Disney's umbrella, they allowed that to keep going. And I think this movie broke the record for the most F words said in one movie.
In any movie?
In any movie. I think this movie broke the record.
Surprised it was Disney who did that.
It was Disney who allowed that to happen. I don't think you should take your kids to see this movie. I saw a lot of people lining up at the theater with their families thinking that they're going to see another generic MCU movie. They had no idea what to expect. That's why I got to say, you got to do your research. You got to do your research when it comes to watching, especially these movies. You know how many videos I've seen on TikTok where people are like, we had to leave the screening. We couldn't handle it. It's blasphemy. That's the biggest one. People are saying it's blasphemy because it's mocking Christianity, mocking Jesus and that. I'm like, it's not that deep. It's fiction. It's just a movie. Like sometimes you gotta know the fine line between a joke and when something's actually literal. Also, I saw another person go, "Oh yeah, I want a refund. I want a refund on my tickets. I didn't expect this to be so gory and stuff." I'm like, that's your fault for not researching before going into this movie. So they are very clear on what you're gonna get in this movie, and if anything, the only thing they hold back on is the spoilers, is the surprises. That's it. So you just gotta know what you're watching before you get into it. So your overall final thoughts on this movie, Santos?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I already gave my rating, but 8 out of 10 as well.
I also give it I'm gonna give it a 9. Actually, 9 out of 10. The only critique I agree with is the villain did seem a bit weak. As you said, all the villains after Thanos seemed a bit like a lot mid afterwards, and I definitely felt that with Cassandra Nova here. So, yeah. Would you recommend this movie for those who haven't seen it yet?
Maybe see the first 2 Deadpool movies.
Oh yeah.
And Loki.
Yeah. And Loki.
Okay, watch. Okay, it could be spoilers, but you should watch Deadpool, 2 Deadpools, the 2 Deadpools, Loki both seasons, and also Logan.
Yeah, big. You need to watch Logan.
So those 4 are like the things you absolutely need to watch before this.
If you don't watch the old X-Men movies, I think you won't miss much.
Yeah, but those are nice. You can also watch the old X-Men movies. I don't know which ones is it.
There's also one other specific movie you should be watching, but that might that actually will spoil the movie, so let's not get into there.
Say it later.
Yeah. So yeah, so Logan, Loki, I think both seasons you need to watch.
Logan, Loki, both seasons. Deadpool, both movies.
Yeah, because this movie literally is a continuation from Deadpool 2, so it's chronological. You need to watch those 2.
I think Wolverine Origins is the one you need to watch, but double check.
Logan for sure, though. Yeah, that's the big one. And then I think just that's it. That's all the homework you need to do to go into this movie. And thank God I remember when we did the trailer reaction to this movie back in December last year. The first thing Santos and I said to you is, watch Loki. Thank God you listened to us and actually did it.
It took me 6 months. Yeah. I watched it like 2 days before the movie. I finished season 2 2 days before we watched the movie.
There you go. So, very last minute. But I actually can't believe how fast time has gone. Like, when that first trailer came out, now we're a week since the movie's released. Like, time just goes by so quickly. And the big question before we get into the spoilers is, will we see more Deadpool and Wolverine? Because obviously they just announced Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Will we see these two interact with the other MCU characters and fight Doctor Doom?
I think it'd be funny. It'll be a cool cameo. Like, I don't think he's going to be the main focus, but might show up.
And will they keep that R rating? I think Deadpool's going to say motherfucker to like
maybe
Anthony Mackie or something.
So how many? So if you're normally it's PG-13, right?
The previous two Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame, were PG-13, right?
Yeah. So they have one F-bomb allowed, I think.
Should be. But I think Deadpool was going to hold back a little bit from his usual, like...
Yeah. So maybe he shows up and uses the one F-bomb, and then that's his role. He kind of shows up, and that's it. So, like, short. I mean, if he does show up, then it'll be pretty short, unless they want to go R-rated.
Yeah. But I think a lot of fans will be happy if they saw Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, right beside Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I think that will be a dream come true for a lot of people if they shared the same screen together.
I agree.
So, yeah. I think that's all we got to say. So overall, I think the general consensus of this movie is it's a fantastic movie. It's got a high rating, critique and fans, but even though the critiques are usually wrong, they still got a pretty good rating. And I think it's on track to cross 2 billion in the box office. It is going to dethrone Inside Out 2. Thank God. But we knew this was... We saw this coming from a mile away. It's already dethroned Godzilla X Kong. Like, that's no surprise. So, Monsterverse loyalists, just accept the L. And let's move on. Okay. Now, we are going to go into spoilers. And, of course, if you haven't seen the movie yet, even though Ryan Reynolds himself is already posting spoilers, and it's been over a week since the movie's released. So, honestly, if you have stayed off social media to avoid spoilers, congrats to you. Because now we're going to be unfiltered. We're going to dive into everything. And don't get mad. Simple as that. Or you can click off this video now. Or skip right to the merch stuff. Because, I will have timestamps in this episode. So, Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. Like, that was a big move for him. And I think everyone thought, he thought he was done after Logan, because Logan had a really good ending. It was tragic. It was conclusive. And it just seemed like that's it for Hugh Jackman. He was going to nail himself, his character, in the coffin and hang up the claws and call it a day for Wolverine until this movie. But the thing is, they made it clear that they weren't going to mess with Logan, or that's at least what they said at the beginning, until the opening sequence of this movie, which is literally Deadpool digging up Logan's corpse and using it as a weapon while dancing to Bye Bye Bye. And before we get into any of the movie content itself, I'm curious on your thoughts on Hugh Jackman's performance in this movie compared to previously, because he plays a much different Wolverine here.
I haven't seen any of the X-Men movies, so I don't know.
Have you seen Logan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so...
But it's been a long time, so... I don't
what do you think of...
remember.
Because he said he said this was his best time he had filming. He had the most fun filming this movie. And I think you can see it in his acting.
Let's see. I watched X-Men, X-Men 2... X-Men 3. I don't know. A lot of the ones, I think Wolverine is there. Days of Future Past. Wolverine is like main character. So you see him a lot. I won't say anything about the plot. Do you want to?
We're in spoiler territory now.
But it's a different movie.
It is a different movie.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But it's much more serious. So, it is, that one was good. I think Wolverine in both movies is very serious, compared to Deadpool. So I think he does well here, but I mean, it is a completely different movie. This is you're supposed to laugh at this one, right? And then other ones he was in much more serious. Logan, was sad. I didn't see it. I haven't watched Logan yet, surprisingly. But yeah, this movie actually spoils the ending, which I kind of knew anyway. I already kind of knew the ending, so it's like, it was not too much of a surprise. One thing that I was surprised by though is the girl in in Logan is X-23, which I had no idea. I thought it was just a random girl because I never saw the movie.
Also, like, this is finally, after 20-something years, he finally wears the comic-accurate suit. Ketchup and mustard, as people like to joke. And so, yeah, what do you think of this? It took him this long to finally wear a comic-accurate suit.
It looks so weird because I'm used to him not wearing the suit.
Yeah, well, that poster would say otherwise.
Well, no. In the X-Men movies, he does not wear that suit most of the time. So I'm just used to him, just the claws. That's his like. And then I know he has the suit, but I never see him with it. So just.
And usually you see Hugh Jackman's face.
Yeah, that's
In
what I'm
this
used
movie, he puts on the iconic mask at the very end.
to. Yeah, only for a bit.
I mean, that has been spoiled already. Look at the Funko Pops. Look at the posters. Look at our shirts. It's been advertised that he is going to wear the iconic mask. So it's not even a spoiler at this point. But they didn't show any footage of him wearing the mask in the trailers. I guess they wanted to just keep that. Which, how did it actually look in the movies? Because, obviously posters and all this will look different. So I guess they're okay with that being... getting that one out rather than what he actually looked like in the movies. This is obviously Deadpool as well. Ryan Reynolds' performance as Deadpool has, been no difference from the previous two movies. It's still great, comedic, making jokes, poking fun at Disney, poking fun at Kevin Feige and all that. When the movie needs to get serious, it does get very serious, away from all like the laughing and comedy stuff, such as this one scene, which I want to highlight, in the car when they were driving down the road, and then Hugh Jackman, like Wolverine, absolutely flips out at Deadpool for lying to him and all that. And one of his lines was like, "I wish you can say you can die alone, but it's one of God's best jokes that you can't die." Like that. I think that's, first of all, that's a great line. Second of all, his acting to deliver that line was very powerful because our theater went silent at that scene. You can tell people were like, "Whoa!" They were taken aback by his aggressive tone.
That was the scene where, Deadpool's kind of has that annoying character to it. I think it was a bit much until the car scene or whatever. I wish there was less annoying stuff to Deadpool.
Oh, so you felt Wolverine's anger, his annoyance?
No, Deadpool. I wish he was less annoying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think that was intentional, just to so Wolverine could flip out and say that.
Maybe they could have cut the annoying stuff like before the car scene. Yeah,
I mean, that's his whole thing, right?
Yeah,
If he
I
doesn't
know.
do that, then
I know,
he's
but
not
he
funny.
can still do it, but not that much.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Wolverine can still flip out and say that. And then and after that they fight in the Honda and completely wreck it. But anyways, the first two Deadpool movies.
Oh, wait, because when I was watching the up to that point, I was like, oh, not again. I was like, oh, this again.
Not this again.
What exactly did he do? Because I kind of forgot.
He was.
I don't know. It was just his character, Deadpool's character.
Well, he was pretending to be Spider-Man at one point. He was like, pew, pew, pew. He was like pretending to shoot webs. What was another one? Oh, he tried to make small talk with Wolverine, but he just wasn't having it. He's like, "Where'd you get the suit? Why that suit?" and all that. He just wasn't answering him. Yeah, and then I think that's it. Oh, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, if the TV can fix your timeline," and I guess that sentence is what ticked him. Yeah. Anyways, scene aside, like that's great acting for both of them, and I think like the first two movies were filmed in Vancouver, which was great because I recognized a lot of the scenery and some of the scenes. I was like, "Oh yeah, I recognize that building," or and all that. This movie was filmed a lot in the UK, So you can definitely feel that there's a different ambience. Maybe because, as a as a Vancouver resident, I'm like so used to what we have here, and then seeing them in a new environment, like, whoa, this is something. I mean, they do spend most of the movie in the void, so technically they're not really in the sacred timeline. They're not in the actual MCU. But anyways, we're kind of bouncing all over the place here. Let's backtrack a bit to the overall summary of the movie. So I said in the beginning, the opening sequence of this movie, I agree with the majority of people. It has to be one of the best openers in an MCU movie. First and foremost, they were like, Logan is another thing. We're not going to touch the ending. It's great. Well, obviously, that was a effing lie, which I don't think it changes anything with Logan's, like, the story Logan. It's just Deadpool digs up his corpse and uses it as a weapon. That's it.
It doesn't do anything. It's just a reference.
Just a reference, yeah. So I saw some people weren't happy with that. Because they're like, oh, yeah, you say you're not going to mess with Logan, but you disrespect his body. Like, I think it's just for the comedic factor. Also, like, the song that he dances to, Bye Bye Bye, did you know the band that went onto the music video changed the title to From Deadpool and Wolverine? And that music video came out 14 years ago. You gotta respect the hustle. You gotta respect that, honestly.
They're time travelers.
Yeah, they're time travelers. They got it. It's funny how like this many years later they revisited their video and that we gotta get the views coming in on our video.
What if someone makes a song like today, and this is from a movie that doesn't exist yet, and then in 10 years someone makes a movie
using that song, and then they're gonna change the title. Which you gotta respect the hustle to NSYNC for doing that, but. Yeah, Bye 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 is a very catchy tune. I really like it. It's very catchy. And it's not Ryan Reynolds dancing to the song. It's actually this stunt double called Nick Pauli. And yeah, it's him in the suit dancing. A lot of people thought that was Ryan Reynolds. It's not. But you got to respect. Nick did a pretty good job because I think he learned it within a week. And then he shot it the next week after.
Well, that's easy to do because it's a suit. You can't see what's inside.
Yeah, no, but you still gotta learn the moves, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. So another thing is he goes on an exposition about basically saying Marvel brought back Hugh Jackman because it's a big bag of Marvel cash, which is, you gotta admit that is a partial reason to his return. And then as he's like monologuing to himself, talking to Logan's corpse, the TVA shows up. And this is where I agree with the memes. The TVA were able to handle Loki and Sylvie easily. Caught them in handcuffs, put them in prison. Deadpool completely wrecks the TVA soldiers. Like it's not an issue. So is he more powerful than Loki?
He's immortal.
I'll ask you a question. What do you think of the fight scenes? There's one when they enter the void. There's one the car, and then there's the final fight.
The car one, the car one kind of is not a fight scene because nothing's gonna happen because you can't kill each other. They're just letting out stress. Most of them are pretty good. The one I didn't like is the one near the end with all the Deadpools. I don't know how many, for like the 100 Deadpool.
They're called the Deadpool Corpse.
The Deadpool Corpse. That one was underwhelming because how they finished the fight is Peter shows up, which seems really lame. Like one guy shows up and then they stop fighting.
But Wolverine puts on the mask in that fight.
That's like, I guess that's good. But besides that, the ending to the fight was it's a letdown. And then the ending sequence, in my opinion, kind of sucked because. Oh, should we talk about that now?
We'll get that in a second. We're bouncing all over the place.
All right, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay, back to the beginning. So yeah, the fight where he fights the TVA agents.
Okay, that one was good. I mean, a little bit seems like plot armor because he didn't get hit by the prune stick at all, but it was fun to watch.
And I think that's why you gotta watch Loki, because you're gonna be like, who are these random soldiers that he's fighting? and why are they going through these portals? And so yeah, Logan's corpse, his bones are now scattered all over the forest, and some of his bones are inside TVA soldiers. It did get gory, you know. You can literally see blood spewing out. He literally he stabbed a dagger into a soldier's ass and just let it kept going. And you're like, oh, jeez, you can just imagine the pain that soldier was going through at that point. And yeah, like it's good choreography. I just think the choreography to the song as he's viciously cutting up soldiers is pretty good. Like it's good. It's a good visual sequence, and then after that, he briefly goes back in classic Deadpool fashion. He briefly takes you back on a small backstory on how did it lead up to this moment. So he starts off back in the Fox universe with his friends. Spoilers for Deadpool 2. He revives his dead girlfriend using Cable's time machine. And, you know, they were basically celebrating his birthday. They had a birthday party. And you can see the old gang pop up. There was Colossus, Negasonic Teenager. Who else was there? Zuki or Yuki?
Yukiko.
Yukiko,
something.
yeah.
Pink hair
girl, yeah, Japanese girl. Their roles have been completely stripped back to just that one scene, just really small cameos, because obviously they played bigger parts in the first two movies. This movie, they completely they took a back seat here, which is great, which is fine, because you need to make room for the other characters. And at least they said some stuff. The blind Al, she was pretty funny. She was like, "Do you want to do some cocaine?" And
How many times did they say the word cocaine in the movie?
oh, he literally said cocaine is the one thing Feige said not to do. Like they
said it
they name
at
dropped
least-
Kevin Feige in that.
Yeah, they said cocaine, I swear, 10 times at least.
Again, Disney allowed it.
There was a lot of interesting euphemisms for cocaine I learned in the movie. I don't remember them. Something about building a snowman was one of them.
Either way, Blino was pretty funny. She was just like, "Motherfucker!" She said maybe a couple times. That was pretty funny. Even though she hasn't done much in this movie. When she was on screen, she was funny. She was pretty funny. I don't know if the actress is actually blind in real life. I wouldn't think so. But her character's meant to be blind, so that's why she walks so funny and stuff. Colossus also was there. He only said one line, which is that he likes to watch Great British Bake Off, and that's it. And then they go on to a classic birthday party speech. He blows up the candles, he gives a little speech. I'm so grateful for you guys, blah blah blah. And then knock knock knock, the TVA shows up. Then what happens?
So yeah, also Deadpool's hair now.
Yes, he has a wig.
He stapled it onto it.
Because he's a car sales
Oh yeah,
guy.
he's a car. Yeah.
And taking shots at taking shots at Honda. And promoting Kia.
Yes. Who might have paid him. Maybe I think it was a sponsor. Or he just picked around, or he actually likes them. So he stapled his hair, which is
Oh, I should also mention the reason he has that job was because in the very beginning he goes to Sacred Timeline because he wants to become an Avenger. So he has an interview with Jon Favreau's character. That's the first cameo, Happy. He wants to be an Avenger. So he's pitching that to Happy, and he's like, maybe not. Maybe it's not for you. That's basically the gist of that conversation. There were some funny bits. There was funny back and forth between the two. And it's cool seeing him sit in the room where you can see Iron Man's helmet, Cap's shield, and all that. Just to let you know that, yes, Deadpool is now in the MCU. I think that was the whole point of that scene. And then after that, he then becomes the car sales guy, gets the wig stapled onto his head, and then what?
Then someone pulls him by the hair.
Yes, the TVA.
The TVA. They rip his wig off. So that wig was short-lived. He's now has no hair again.
So now he's in the TVA. What then?
Some guy named Paradox, which is an interesting name.
He's not a comic character, right?
Anyways, Paradox is like, your timeline is dying, so we're going to prune it, basically. Get rid of the timeline. So he pulled Deadpool out to basically get him to help him, and then he can, put him on the secret timeline instead of just disappearing.
So basically, he's inviting him to join the MCU.
Kind of, yeah. There's a whole thing they do, but then getting rid of the deadline means the timeline means getting rid of his friends, which Deadpool doesn't want. So
And the big question is, why was Thor crying? He was holding Deadpool and crying.
No clue.
Why was Thor crying?
So that was foreshadowing, but we don't know anything about it.
Could be
right?
a Secret War scene,
Yeah.
maybe.
So that could imply that he's coming back in Secret Wars or Doomsday, which could be interesting if they show up. I thought it was going to happen in this movie, but then that's too obvious, right? So it makes sense that it might be a future movie or it's just a one-off thing, and it's a red herring.
And he also salutes at Captain America. And so basically, they played a lot of footage from the Avengers movies on the TV screens, and he's like, "I'm Marvel Jesus" or something like that. So yeah, he gets invited to join the MCU, but in doing so, the Fox universe would get pruned. Then what?
Then
They go on to explain there was a anchor being. Yeah.
Deadpool's anchor being in his world is Logan.
So that's how they tie in Logan's ending.
So Logan is in the same universe. So that's the Fox timeline. And basically, Paradox trying to recruit him, Deadpool gets angry, punches him in the nose, and his solution is find another Wolverine to act as the anchor being for the Fox universe, so it's fixed.
And then he goes, big montage of him searching for different Deadpools, or not different Deadpools, different Wolverines. And then this is where we get to see a lot of different variations of Wolverine.
Should I show?
Yeah, so I was going to transition to that. So the first one is the short Wolverine.
Wait, I'm gonna show
The
Paradox.
Okay.
Oh, Paradox. Okay.
I think there's like two characters have the same name. So I think one's affiliate to like Doctor Strange stuff.
Okay.
Sounds like a Doctor Strange villain.
I don't know if.
But he
if
just
he's
looks
villain.
like a businessman in this movie.
Yeah. Then there's Null Time Zone. I don't know what that is.
That sounds more TVA to me.
Yeah.
So there's another human.
Just a guy in a suit.
Do you want to read up on it?
Oh, it's a judge.
Okay, it's from She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So
Like Renslayer?
no, like
Not
She-Hulk.
TVA related.
Oh.
No. It's related to She-Hulk for some reason. So it looks like Paradox is not a it's not a comic character. Maybe he is. So if he is, just like correct us.
At first, it looked like he was going to be a serious character, but then he started to break into the more comedic side as well.
Yeah, and then at the end we know what happens, but basically, Deadpool tries to find. Let's continue talking about the Wolverines.
Oh wait, just one more thing. Paradox has his own division of TVA soldiers. That's what their uniform looks.
That's why that's why you don't see like the other TVA people in that scene because they're in their own section under.
So they all have different branches now. I think that's new.
Yeah.
So they branched off.
And he's going rogue, wanting to do his own thing.
Isn't that a bit of a spoiler? We don't learn that till later.
Yeah, well, I would say what he's doing, but Deadpool is like, hold on a second, you guys.
Yeah, but at first it seems like it's part of the actual TVA, and you don't know that. I don't think it tells you at the beginning that it's a separate division.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
That's only at the end.
That's at the end, yeah. So yeah, he goes on a montage to search for Wolverine, and then you have all the different types of Wolverines. The first one is the comic accurate dwarf Wolverine. Can you explain a little bit of that, Santos?
Like his height is like he's really short in the comics. So
How short in the comics?
5'3".
That's not okay. Short, but it's not that.
I mean, did they exaggerate it in that scene?
Maybe no, I'm not sure, but I think he's actually that short in the X-Men TV show, like the cartoon.
The 97 show?
Yeah. No. Yeah. 97 show.
Well, he is short, but not that much short. Not that short, compared to I don't know, but yeah, they're exaggerating in that scene.
But it was for comedic effect. Yeah. And then the next one he goes is he's like kind of like a gangster Wolverine.
Yeah, I forgot the name, but like in the comics, like he looks comic accurate, but one of his hands is like gone, and he only has like.
Oh, so that's why he was just using that one hand and just
Yeah.
constantly stabbing Deadpool with it. So there's that one, and then there was the one where he kind of looks like a cowboy. He was just sitting at the edge of on his balcony in a lodge,
Oh yeah.
and then he like kind of McCrees him. It's like pow. And then there's the other one where he's crucified.
Yeah.
On the next. And then Deadpool comes in that world. It's a sea of red skulls. And he's like, what in the fuck? And he just sees Wolverine on an X, crucified on an X. And this is where most of the blasphemy critiques came from. They're like, oh, they're making fun of Jesus on the cross and all that. Like, you got to realize this is a direct reference to the comic cover, which is this.
Hard to see from the camera.
So they're not making fun of Jesus. They're not. It's from the comics. So
It's from Uncanny X-Men issue 251.
Okay, that's quite deep.
I think from the 90s. Yeah. I have no idea what it's about.
Has the value gone up since the movie?
No, it's like $17.
Oh, I guess not that.
But it's not graded. So
Maybe it did go up, but
So yeah, so that's that Wolverine, and then it was just a sea of red skulls. I assume I don't know. I haven't read the comics, so I don't really get the backstory of that reference. And then the next one, he goes in a forest and he sees another Wolverine. He's like, wait a minute, don't you fight the Hulk in this outfit? And then quick 2-second cameo of the Hulk showing up. And then Deadpool tries to quote Loki. He's like, I am Marvel Jesus, you dull creature. And then, bam, it's smacked into the tree. So, I feel like that the Hulk was reused footage. And they just edited that into that scene.
it's probably CGI.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Ruffalo
same
was actually...
animation.
Yeah.
It could be literally anyone. Or it just like they took a person, motion acts, whatever the thing.
Yeah.
Motion capture.
Motion capture.
Yeah. It was 2 seconds anyways. It was super quick. And also Deadpool goes on a narrative that he is Marvel Jesus. He is the Messiah. And again, this is why some people were mad. They're like, oh, they're making fun of Christianity and all that. It's a fucking movie. Relax. Anyways, the next one, I think I would argue this was the big cameo, which is the Calvarine. What happens in that scene, Santos?
Yeah, he was like fixing a motorcycle or something. I'm not.
That was Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Which I didn't really notice the first time around because
All
with
the
the
faci-
beard,
all the facial hair.
they added the facial hair. It's a little bit hard to tell if you're not paying attention. So I kind of was like, oh, it's just another Wolverine. Until after the movie, you told me that was Henry Cavill. I was like, wait, and then I rewatched the footage and I'm like, okay, I can see it now.
Yeah, that's Henry Cavill. And then and Deadpool was like, oh my fuck, he directly made fun of DC. He's like, we would treat you so much better than those shit fucks down the street. Basically saying fuck you DC for doing him dirty as Superman.
Did he get replaced or
There's a new guy playing
Were there-
Superman now.
Yeah, he gets replaced. What happened to like The Witcher? He got replaced on The Witcher.
Yeah, he
too,
got replaced exactly.
And the show sucks now, or it's gone. I don't remember what happened. Or I think he left because the show started to suck.
Yeah, so that's why Deadpool made that reference. But yeah, so that's one big cameo, and our theater went when he popped up, except for Brandon because he didn't know at first.
I wasn't paying attention. I was like, I was half the time.
Time to go to sleep.
And then after the Calvarine scene, Henry Cavill knocks him into the timeline where he finds this Wolverine, the Wolverine that we follow.
This Wolverine is drunk and useless and depressed.
Because apparently he let all the X-Men die, and then he thought he failed them, so he went on a killing spree, which sent him into an even darker place. That's why he was full of regret and stuff. So there you go. That's how you know this is a way different Wolverine than Logan. So fast forward a little bit. Deadpool recruits Wolverine, brings him back to the TVA, and Paradox is like, this is the worst Wolverine. He let down his entire universe.
Also, it doesn't even his strat of bringing Anchor Being to replace it doesn't even work in the first place.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, he just kind of listened to him and he was like, okay, and then he punched him and left him out. Doesn't even know if his plan will work.
Exactly, and he finds out it doesn't, and then Paradox goes on his monologue saying, "Oh, I made this machine called the Time Ripper, and I'm gonna destroy all the timelines to my
Except the sacred timeline.
except
Trying
the
to
sacred
protect
timeline."
it.
And then Deadpool eventually pieces the puzzle. He's like, "Wait a minute, the higher up doesn't know what you're doing down here. I'm gonna use my inner Karen and talk to
Did he
the
say
man."
that?
Yeah, he did say
Okay.
that, and then he gets pruned, and so did Wolverine.
Okay, that I think then you kind of know it's a different department division. Yeah. A little bit. It's hinted a little, but yeah. So they both get pruned and sent to the void.
And then they fight a bit at the void because Wolverine doesn't know what's going on. And it's a pretty cool fight, even though neither of them are gonna die. But it's still a pretty cool fight. So they fight a bit. Eventually, Deadpool convinces Wolverine that like, if you help me, we can fix whatever you did back in your timeline. And then big cameo pops up. Who is it?
Well, it's first it's Sabretooth, and then it's
Captain America, yeah.
Chris Evans comes back as Johnny Storm, which is why I left this movie out when we were recommending movies. If you watched the first Fantastic Four movie, you will understand that reference.
Also, the scene's a kind of a Mad Max reference.
It is kind of, but it'll be IP infringement.
They did say Furiosa, which is
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I found so Chris Evans comes back as Johnny Storm, freaks out the whole theater, and then Deadpool thought he was Cap. He's like, "Oh my God, he's gonna say it! He's gonna say it!" And he says, "Flame on" instead of Avengers Assemble, and he goes on this Human Torch montage, flying around shooting flame. But then this other character just absorbs it all.
Pyro something, Pyromaniac, Pyro.
I think it's just Pyro.
Just Pyro.
Pyro, yeah.
Okay.
So he just absorbs all of Human Torches.
He got hard countered.
Yeah, hard countered, and he went tumbling down, damaged his balls and all that.
So he should have fought Sabretooth, and Wolverine should have fought Pyro.
Exactly. That would have been nice. So after that happens, Sabretooth challenges Wolverine to a fight, and then Deadpool kind of makes a joke like, the people have been waiting for this fight, blah, blah, blah. They even last 2 seconds. They just rushed each other, and then Sabretooth's head went flying off.
Is that the guy?
Yeah,
What's
Pyro.
And then Deadpool goes into Furiosa rant, which was pretty funny. He holds his head up. He's like, "Behold." If you haven't seen the Mad Max stuff, you probably won't get the reference, but it was pretty funny.
I have not seen it. I just know Furiosa is a character because one of the movies named after her.
Which came up this year. Yeah. So that they get taken back to Cassandra Nova's Slayer, which is a dead Ant-Man corpse.
Which is how did dead Ant-Man get up there?
No idea. They never explained it.
Never explained why he's there.
And then Deadpool pokes fun and says, "Oh yeah, Paul Rudd finally aged," because like the joke is like Paul Rudd is like 50 years old and he doesn't look old at all. This hilarious scene. Chris Evans switches from his noble stature as Captain just dirty mouth Johnny Storm, so he was talking all the shit about Cassandra, and then Deadpool kind of repeats all of that in front of Cassandra.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know that yet.
Yet.
But then Johnny tries his best to defend himself, and then Cassandra went poof.
Deadpool is a snitch.
He's a snitch. He snitched out Johnny, and then Cassandra kills him. In a pretty graphic way, too, actually.
Instant death. I don't know.
His skin went flying. You can see his flesh.
He exploded.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Fatality.
Yeah, that was pretty gruesome. So, yeah, now I want to talk a little bit about Cassandra Nova, because, as you said, she's not really a strong villain. You think the villains have been quite mid since Thanos. So what was it about Cassandra Nova where you're like, I don't know?
Her whole thing is, I want to rule over the void. That's literally it. And she wants to destroy everything else.
First, she doesn't want to get out of the way because it's her home.
Yeah. She's lazy, and then she eventually is like, okay. And also, yeah. And she's basically incredibly OP.
Well, she is Professor X's twin.
Yes. But like, yeah, she's incredibly OP in the way now, but the way they beat her is really like, to me. It's like, I guess it's the only way they beat her because they can't beat her normally, but it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the end.
And then another big fight happens. Big monologue. Cassandra gets into Deadpool's head, and trying to mess with him. And then Alive comes from Loki season 1, episode 5, as Deadpool says. In case you forgot, he reminds you in that scene. And then they escape Alive before he could devour
They
him.
escaped the big fart cloud.
Big fart cloud. And then they land in the middle of nowhere. They have a quick scene at the diner where Wolverine's downing rubbing alcohol, medical alcohol, which is obviously going to kill your stomach if you drank that in real life. And then they finish their little monologue in the diner. Then they go out to a walk. And then we get to where you're saying we meet Dogpool and Nicepool.
Yes. Which is Ryan Reynolds
In
without
long
the
hair.
mask.
In long
and
hair.
long hair, yeah.
And he's Canadian. He uses his Canadian accent. You can hear him say, sorry.
Yes.
So what do you think of Dogpool and Nicepool? She's a real dog, by the way, in real life. She is deemed the world's ugliest dog. She has the world record, and Ryan Reynolds saw that and said, let's put her in the movie. So her name is Mary Poppins and Dogpool, a.k.a. Dogpool.
Yes. She's the most powerful character in the movie. She can one-shot Cassandra Nova.
She's done nothing in the movie.
What do you mean? She was so good. She is moral support for Deadpool.
She literally was moral support for Deadpool.
She could one-shot all the villains if she wanted to, but she doesn't want to do that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Deadpool wants the dog,
Clearly.
but Nicepool is like, no. Anyways.
And it kind of foreshadows what was going to happen to Nicepool eventually. And then Nicepool was like, I got you a ride. And then they go into the Honda Civic. Was it a Honda? It was like a Honda.
It was a
van.
Honda. It's the one Deadpool doesn't like.
Yeah, because that car has a history of breaking down in real life, so that was the reference. And then the funny thing is, they go in their cars. The car scene happens. Wolverine flips out at him, and then they fight to release the stress, as you said. Which was, I think, it was cool, but it was also pointless because again, none of them are gonna die.
No point, but yes. And then at the end, someone finds them and kidnaps them because they're both passed out.
Yes, and Deadpool was completely band-aid up in the seatbelt, which was pretty funny. And then they enter into a lair, and then the big cameos pop up. First one is Elektra.
Elektra was the one I think that drove them. She was driving them, right?
I think that was X-23 that was driving them.
Okay.
Anyways, Elektra, so she was the first cameo. Ben Affleck's former ex-wife. And then you have Blade. That one was... that one got a pretty good theater reaction. Everyone went, oh, like when he popped into the screen. And then Gambit, my favorite cameo. Gambit popped up, and with his thick Cajun French accent, he was like, oh, you know how long I've been waiting for this?
I think the three, X-23 is from Logan, and the other three I think are from X-Men Wolverine.
Blade is from his own movie.
Okay, Blade is from his own movie, but Gambit is from Wolverine Origins, I'm pretty sure.
I think that was... I think
Same actor?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know
No,
Gambit's in the movie,
because
but I don't know if it's the same. I never saw it.
Because he always wanted... They wanted to make a Gambit solo movie, but it never happened just because of scheduling issues. And then Disney bought Fox and scrapped that idea. So Ron Reynolds gave the actor the chance to, be Gambit in this movie because he's been fighting it to play Gambit for so long, and so he finally gets his chance in this movie.
So is this his first time then?
Yeah, this is his first time.
Okay, then never
mind. So it's his
mind.
dream come true for him.
Okay, then never mind. That's a new actor then. Elektra, is she from anything?
X-Men? Not sure.
Wesley Snipes for sure. Like Wesley Snipes playing Blade, I've definitely seen him before. Yeah, he's from his own Blade movie, right? From before.
Yeah.
So that was a big cameo. Also, Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds used to they didn't like each other before, so I guess they squashed their beef to be in this movie together. And then yeah, X-23. She goes same actress. She's much older now, and yeah, they go on this little dialogue that Gambit starts to talk, but then you can't really understand him because of his thick Cajun accent. Even Deadpool was like, "Who's your dialect coach? The Minions?" that was pretty funny.
Yeah, okay, so Elektra is from Daredevil, but the old movie from 2003.
Same actress?
Yes. And then there's another Elektra movie 2 years later. Yeah, so this is really old. So I guess Blade is from a solo movie, Elektra's from Daredevil, old Daredevil movie, and her own solo movie. And Gambit is new.
Gambit's new for sure.
Okay, and then X-23 from Logan.
Yeah. That's why you need to watch Logan.
So I guess you don't need to watch X-Men Origins, but there is a Gambit in that movie. So
That's
maybe,
different actor, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you might want to watch it to see them anyways.
Yeah.
But I've heard the movie's not great.
Oh yeah. I think I got pretty bad reviews. But anyways, yeah, they go on a whole scene, interaction. Gambit kind of tries to intimidate Wolverine, but he's not having it. And then after they go on the speech, all that, and then more funny scenes, and then we have a serious scene between Wolverine and X-23. All the more reason why you need to watch Logan, or you're not going to understand that scene.
Wolverine's like, I'm depressed. I don't want to do anything. X-20's like, you gotta do something.
Because you were my hero and all that. Or like, I got a life because of you.
Yes. And then he's like, okay. And then he shows up.
There you go. And then they show up. And they pull up I think this team up was definitely wild. They go back to Cassandra's lair to fight her soldiers. And then Gambit goes on. You know how many memes I've seen of that now? Like, oh, I've been waiting for this. I'm about to make a name for myself. So yeah, he does that, and then they fight. Wolverine shows up from the trunk. I'm not sure how they didn't catch him hiding in the trunk on their way there. Also, a good note to point out that Honda car survived a massive beating, and it still worked. They drove that was the same car, yeah. They drove that back to Cassandra's lair. Wesley Snipes was like, "There's always been one Blade, and there's ever going to be one Blade," which is obviously not true because there's a Blade movie coming.
I think it's kind of a reference to that. He's like, no, he's the best. He's the best Blade.
He's the best Blade. Yeah. So yeah, they fight. Cool scene. So Santos was asking that question earlier about the fight scenes. What do you think of this one, where you see the team up go against Cassandra's soldiers?
It was good. I liked it. I think that was the coolest fight scene. I think out of the whole movie.
I think it was really cool seeing Gambit in action, using his cards, turning into his staff, and all that.
Yeah, Gambit. Gambit was like the best character because his powers is throwing cards, which is kind of cool.
Close-up magic.
Yes. All the other characters don't really have powers. So
is that a biased opinion?
What do you mean?
You like playing cards.
Okay. All right, calm down.
I mean, Blade was pretty cool too. His fighting was pretty cool too.
But I want to say the Gambit has the flashiest powers out of all.
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
So that's why he was the most fun to watch.
He like tags all of the enemies and then it blows.
Yes.
Blow up. Yeah.
Just blow them up. Yeah.
Gambit also beats the muscular guy, I think, like the tough
Juggernaut.
guy. Yeah, Juggernaut.
Somehow, yeah, and then also
I thought it was X-23.
But she cuts off his head. She cuts it to get the helmet.
Yeah.
And also, the helmet is for there because it counters Cassandra Nova because she needs her head.
Well, it was going to be Magneto, but then Magneto's dead.
And the
so
helmet's
Juggernaut
gone.
was the second best option.
Yeah, and then the helmet's gone. So they use Juggernaut's helmet, put on her so she can't use her powers. So I guess her powers come from the head.
Yeah. So they after a bunch of serious scenes, Deadpool and Wolverine goes against Cassandra. They lock the helmet onto her. She's now like nerfed significantly. Pyro comes in and shoots her. He tries to give his villain speech, but then Wolverine's like, no villain speech for you. And then eventually they let her go because
she said she can help them, but only if you take the helmet off. And then she decides to help them.
And Wolverine was like, my brother would not let me kill you if he was here.
Okay, yeah. And I'll Xavier. Prof X.
Yeah, Professor X.
Not his brother. Yeah, her brother, not his brother.
Yeah, sorry,
okay.
yeah. Your brother, your brother would not let me kill you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then it turns out she has a Doctor Strange portal maker, which is how she sends them.
The ring, whatever.
The Marvel portal.
and then she gets sent over.
They go back to New York right before Alive could get them. And at this point, everyone's like, did Gambit, Blade, and them die? Did Alive eat them? We don't know.
Oh, no. Probably implied, but we don't know.
Maybe not. I would like to see more of Gambit. I'm just saying. I think he was the highlight of that movie. And I agree with you. He has a lot of flashy fighting.
Where's my Gambit solo movie?
Exactly. I actually want to see it. I want to see a Gambit solo movie.
I don't. All right. With the new actor.
Exactly. So they go back to New York. They try to stop Paradox. Cassandra tends to has a habit of sticking her fingers inside people, but in a not so pleasant way. She like fiddles with your mind, and then she does that to Paradox. And I'm not gonna lie, at that point I was like, oh, that's a bit much.
You did it to Pyro first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she wants to find out why Pyro shot at her. Yeah. And then eventually Pyro dies. She breaks his neck and kills him. And then, yeah, she decides, rather instead of destroying the time machine Paradox was making, she's like, I actually want to use it. I want to use it myself. Yeah. And then she forces Paradox to activate it for her. And then while doing so, she summons the Deadpool corpse to stall Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, you were talking about that scene.
The fight's interesting. There's a lot of Deadpools. There's a baby Deadpool, too. Which I thought for a second
they didn't kill them, thank God.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. I thought for a second Deadpool's looking at it, was like, I thought, is he gonna do it? But yeah, he didn't. Basically, they're all Deadpools. Oh yeah. So they regen, but one of them doesn't regen,
which was Nicepool. This is where we see Nicepool die, which is pretty funny, but also pretty gruesome at the same time. So Dogpool comes back. Deadpool's like, oh, it's Dogpool again. And I think he intentionally wanted to kill Nicepool so he could take Dogpool for himself.
A little bit.
And the pistols.
Yeah, and the pistols.
Yeah, but I think he just assumed he was immortal too.
Yeah, because he picked him up and used him as a shield.
He just assumed that he would live, but turns out he doesn't.
And then his head gets blown off.
And then now he has nice golden revolvers and the dog.
And then they do that, and then in the Deadpool corpse, there was quite a lot. There was the Kid Pool, and Baby Pool, and then there was Lady Pool. She was like the leader, who was played by Ryan Reynolds' wife, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. And then there was a samurai Deadpool. There was like a robot-looking Deadpool. Headpool, my favorite, voiced by Nathan Fillion. He didn't get a lot of screen time. He only said a couple lines, and then that was it. He didn't really do much. I think it was pretty funny. And then they fight. Big one. It was like it was one shot, that fight. It was just one pan shot. Yes. Wolverine puts on his iconic mask. Everyone's like, "Yo, he's wearing the mask!" And then they fight. Pretty gory. Fight into the bus as well. They pop out, and then they all regen. And then you said the ending kind of sucked. What happened? So
Peter decides to randomly show up for some reason, which is, yeah. And their reason is that all Deadpools have a Peter and they like their Peter. So
he's a goddamn legend.
So they decide to stop fighting and surround the Peter and celebrate.
Which gives Deadpool and Wolverine the opening to come down to
that's how they win that fight, which is kind of boring. It's like, could you not have a more interesting way of finishing the fight instead of a random guy? Well, not random guy, but like a guy shows up basically.
What would you have done then if you were the writer?
I don't know, have like some sort of way to actually stall the Deadpools. Maybe they find a way to counter the regen. I don't know if there's a way to do that. It's hard because it's all Deadpools, right? So maybe that's the only way, but like, I'm not a writer. I don't, but I feel like there could have been a better way to handle that part.
I guess that's fair.
So the fight feels like it gets cut short. Maybe they go a couple more rounds and they find a different way, like after the regenning, and then they find a different way to beat them. So that would have been, in my opinion, better.
Yeah, I agree. I think also maybe, or he can try to convince them himself that, hey, if we band together, then we can stop.
Yeah, if you convincing them still better than whatever they did with Peter. Yeah,
Exactly.
makes more sense in my opinion.
And so they go back, they go down to Paradox. Paradox kind of tries to kind of don't want to, and then Wolverine threatens them. He explains to them what happens, and then they decide, okay, the way to stop Cassandra is how?
Touch each other's hands and electrocute themselves.
Okay, well, basically, like, they have to rip apart the wires in the machine.
They have to create like a short circuit.
Yeah,
They
a
have to
short circuit.
connect the two separate wires. One is like orange, one is blue. And because the Time Ripper, it's like a machine, and she just put her hands in to charge it, I guess. So if you do that, then the machine, I don't know, it
would rip you
movie
apart.
logic. Yeah.
So Deadpool's like, I'm going to do it. But then Wolverine's like, no, I will do it. You have a whole world to go back to. I got nothing. So I will do it.
They fight over it. Ends up Deadpool going. But then turns out his arm's not long enough. So Wolverine breaks in because Deadpool locked the door and helps him out. And Paradox earlier was like...
Oh,
hey,
wait. In that scene when Wolverine helps him, his entire suit rips off and you can see his entire muscles.
Yes. Totally not fan service or anything.
Yeah, and then that was, I thought that was random, but then it was also funny because Deadpool looked over and went, oh, okay, that's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought it was random at first, but I was like, okay, I guess.
Okay, fine. Sure, you want to show off.
Yeah.
Alright, anyways, the idea is that if anyone does it, one person does it, they die. But that's basically what Paradox says, like, you're gonna die. But he only mentioned, like, one person that does
Exactly.
it. So,
And
and
then,
also, yeah.
Hunter B-15.
Well, we'll get to, and
Okay.
yeah, and then Hunter B-15 shows up, and it's like, someone's like, something's happening. So she shows up and finds out that, well, actually, wait, first, yeah, when they do that, that somehow kills Cassandra Nova.
Yes.
Which is kind of boring in my opinion. Like, I want a fight scene, not two people showing off their abs in the basement. That's basically how the final fight goes.
So you wanted those two to actually go.
I want them to
Cassandra.
somehow fight her. Like, even if they like find a counter, I was like, maybe they find a way to counter some of her powers, and then they fight her. Then they win. That would have been cooler than just...
It would have been cool if she was nerfed a bit from Juggernaut's helmet.
Maybe they find like a prototype Magneto helmet somewhere, and then they use it on her, and then maybe her telekinesis powers are like weaker, not like fully negated or something, and then they fight her. Would have been cool, but yeah. But anyway, the timeline integrity thing like
Resets
itself, and then she dies, and then B-15 shows up, and it's like, what are you doing? And then Paradox is like, I was the two people saved us and something, and then
He has risen, baby girl.
and then it turns out they didn't die because
He was
actually
like, fuck. It was pretty funny.
I actually thought they died for like a little bit because there was like the music went silent.
Yeah.
You know?
And also it looked like nothing was left in that room.
But turns out nothing to worry about. They're alive. It turns out that two of them can survive it, but probably not one. And Paradox is actually running the Time Ripper unsanctioned, or like,
So he's going rogue.
yeah, he went rogue. So that department's not supposed to be doing what they're doing. Because I was a little bit confused at first. I was like, I thought TVA stopped pruning timelines.
So B-15's like, arrest him.
Yeah. So he got arrested, and Deadpool, B-15's like, like thanking them, I think. And at the end,
Which, by the way, this is why you need to watch Loki, or otherwise you're going to be like, who's this lady?
yeah, at the end, Deadpool and Wolverine go back to their timeline. Also, their original timeline got fixed somehow.
Yeah, the Fox timeline.
Yeah, got fixed somehow through their conflict. I don't know. The Time Ripper did something.
And they didn't fix Wolverine's past because they're like, well,
Oh, yeah.
his past is what made him do this today.
So you can't do that. Although, in Endgame, you could do that because it would create a branching timeline.
Exactly. It's a bit complicated, but
So I feel like plot hole maybe they could have fixed it and created a separate timeline, like an Endgame, and then Wolverine lives there. He's happy. So I think Wolverine goes back with Deadpool, and they go back to the original birthday party at the beginning to
and
celebrate.
then this time Wolverine joins them, and X-23 joins them.
Yes. And was no,
Dogpool
just
was-
those two.
yeah,
right?
Dogpool.
Dogpool. And then they just celebrate. Also, there's a reference to Avengers 1, which is the shawarma scene.
Oh yeah. That's right. There was a quick shot of Vancouver. I actually didn't realize it was Vancouver until
It
I
was?
saw it was Vancouver. I was like,
Alright,
oh yeah,
I
that's the
noticed.
Harbor Center.
Ah.
So yeah, they go, they do a quick shawarma scene, and then Wolverine's like, oh well, I'm gonna do my own thing, and they're like, well, I'll see you in a bit. And then Deadpool's like, hold on, join me on my birthday party, and then he joins them. And then yeah, that's basically the movie. And then there's one post-credit scene.
Human Torch, or Chris Evans, did actually say all the words that Deadpool said.
About Cassandra. Yeah.
And then he just starts.
I was like wondering, I'm pretty sure Chris Evans had a lot of fun saying that line. Because normally his characters are very noble and very patriotic. So he was just like, I gotta go all out for this one.
He starts
And just starts
wearing like.
swearing like crazy about her. That was pretty funny. So Deadpool's basically clearing his name. He's like, I didn't say that. He actually said it. I was just
I mean,
quoting him.
he said it anyways, but yeah, he gave him permission. He's like, "Can I quote you?" And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah. Also, it turns out there was a camera inside the cage. As he saw the camera. He's like, all right, go on, Johnny. And then said his stuff. So yeah, that's the movie. Overall, I think the story was great. But as you said, there were some things that we were like, what, huh? Like, are you sure? Or it could be fixed. But yeah, I think just the Easter eggs, the cameos, and all that was great. My personal favorite was Gambit. I think he was the highlight of the movie for me. Okay, which fight scene was your favorite then, since you asked him?
Probably the first one when they go to the void.
It's between Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Including like Sabretooth.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just between those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one before Human Torch shows up. Yeah, I think for me it's the team up scene in Cassandra's Lair. Seeing Gambit in action was pretty cool. As you said, he was a pretty flashy fight. So yeah, I think overall movie was great. I will hope to see more of Deadpool and Wolverine in the future. But that's the movie for you. So now we have lots of stuff to show. Lots of stuff. Lots of expensive stuff. Stuff that costs me a lot of money and time.
I agree.
Okay, it is time to take a look at the merch. The beautiful merch. Lots and lots of merch. And trust me, the stuff we're about to show you took a long time to get. And I don't even have everything. I'm still missing something right now. But before we take a look at all that, we have Le Funko Pops to take a look at. So, let's look at these first because we're going to need all this table space for what's coming next. So, let's get started. Deadpool and Wolverine, the commons here, these two. As you can see, I have 4 of them. So I have one in box, one out of box. So obviously, I've made a video already for my opinions. So Santos and Brandon is just your opinions now.
Funkos are not usually bobbly, right?
Oh, licensing issues. So all Star Wars and Marvel Pops are bobbleheads.
Oh. Okay, so okay. Well, that's. Well, I only see your Funkos inside your boxes like 90% of the time, so I didn't. But yeah, it's bobbly.
Yeah, I wish they came with a stand.
Yeah, I guess if they weren't bobbly heads, they wouldn't have this problem. Wolverine's head feels like more stable than Deadpool. Deadpool feels quite stable.
Because Wolverine has the fins.
Yeah, the fins, but also I don't know. Something about it feels more like it's a little heavier. It feels a little bit heavier than Deadpool.
So what about when they're in the box?
In the box. I like Deadpool's design more. Wolverine looks kind of angry. I don't know. I guess he's always angry.
So out of 10 for those two.
Give Deadpool a 7 out of 10. Wolverine's like a 6.5.
I agree.
Those two go into the void.
All right, these two next. We have Dog Pool and Kid Pool. I do not have extras for those two, so you're gonna have to just look at them in the box.
All right. First things, Deadpool, Kidpool looks like almost the same size as Deadpool because of the Funko, like, you know, scaling. This it might be a bit smaller, but like they look really similar in size, so it doesn't look like a kid. It looks like an adult Deadpool wearing pistols and having a slightly different suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's wearing a hoodie.
I think he's holding water guns.
Yeah, so he's holding water guns instead. So that's kind of the only giveaway of Kidpool. I think it's a
He's
suit
also
too.
wearing a hoodie.
He is?
It's a hoodie.
Oh, it's a hoodie. Wait, what? I don't remember. What happened in...
He just said one line, which is like, "Oh, when I want your opinion, you can take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth," or something like that.
Damn. He's gonna grow up and start saying some interesting things. Yeah, I think it's alright, but it looks quite similar to Deadpool. I mean, he is a Deadpool variant.
Okay, out of 10, what do you give Kid Pool?
6.5.
I give it a 6.
All right, Dog Pool.
Dogpool. Yeah, the best character in the whole movie. Yeah. Actually, yeah, the dog in the movie does look ugly, as you said, but not like, it's still cute, like, you know. But yeah, the face is like, her tongue is like on the side and like slightly like ruffled up and stuff. She looks a lot cuter in the Funko form.
Also, the tongue was broken when I bought it. I had to glue it.
Oh
Just glue
wait,
to
it
fix
fell off and you...
It fell
oh.
off. Yeah, I fixed it though.
So apparently the tongue falls off.
Okay, that's a mark off.
It looks fine now because I glued it back. I glued it back together.
I don't know, 5 out of 10.
Okay. I think the goggles make her look cuter.
I'll give it a 6.5, but 6 because the tongue fell off.
Yeah. That's why I don't know if you can see it. You see a little bit of the paint?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of
Oh,
paint.
yeah. Because of that, but if it was in perfect condition, like 6.5.
We have Deadpool with head pool, Wolverine with baby pool. So these are 2-in-1 pops. And I do think these are better value because you're technically paying for two Funko Pops.
Was it the same price?
It's the same price, yeah, as these ones.
Okay, 8 out of 10. Because you're getting more.
More value, more bang for your buck. I like the pose on this better. It feels like it'll be more stable because his hands are crossed instead of like this. Right?
What about baby pool?
Baby Pool is cute. He has a pacifier, the Deadpool pacifier. Let's see. So for the other one,
Deadpool and head pool.
is he like flexing?
I think he's like showing off his ass.
He's doing something. He's doing something. Headpool looks alright. He was more gruesome in the movie, like just, which I kind of liked because it made him looks, you know,
Smug, kind of.
smug. Yeah. So he's a little bit, you know, he feels a bit, what's the word? Like less scary, the skin is like his mask is kind of like flapping around.
I think he's supposed to be like a zombie.
Yeah, it doesn't really have that effect here, so it's all right. Also,
So between these two,
7.5.
7.5. But you do think it's better value just because you get
Just it's better value.
two pops in one. So there you go. Those are the Funko Pops. And the only one that's currently announced that's not out yet is Ladypool. That's the next one that's coming. Do you think they should do Funko Pops on those surprise cameos?
Prize cameos. Yes, but after
A long time.
Give it like a year. Yeah, a year.
give a
after
year,
release.
maybe.
Because yeah, they did that with No Way Home. They released the pops a year after the movie. So
Okay, yeah, then do the same thing. Basically, just wait until people have watched it, and people who haven't watched it at that point probably don't care. So
yeah, then it should be fine to do pops on those. I would love to see pops on two specific characters. Cover your ears. You don't want to hear it. I want to see a pop on Gambit and Human Torch. All right, you can open your ears now.
But if they cover their ears, how are they gonna hear you say "open your ears"?
Just bleep. Editor, just bleep.
Editor,
that part.
put-
Just bleep. Yeah.
or put like a timestamp warning. Skip to this timestamp.
Yeah.
Are there timestamps on Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's timestamps on Spotify.
Please.
What pause would you like to see?
That
they haven't
from
done
this
yet.
movie, Cassandra Nova,
Good one.
Pyro. Although as didn't
Maybe the Wolverine variants.
Oh yes.
Henry Cavill Wolverine. Although
Yeah,
it's hard to.
definitely,
Oh, is he shirtless in the scene?
Yeah, well, he wears like a
Tank top.
Tank top,
Okay,
yeah.
I guess you can put a tank top because I'm like you can't really differentiate too well in a Funko Pop.
Oh, they should do like a deluxe pop, so he has that motorcycle included as well.
Okay, Henry Cavill Wolverine with motorcycle.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. There you go. Those are the Funko Pops, and we're gonna take 5 to put away the pops because we're about to whip out the loot. The loot that you're gonna find out what it is. We'll see you in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Have we got a surprise for you? I have been sent this wonderful package, and by wonderful I mean absolutely massive. And I posted a community post about this on the main channel a couple weeks back. And my other camera might run out of battery soon. So we have a bunch of stuff here that I think a lot of fans are going to be like, I can't believe you got them. Because, yes, we have a massive crate, as I just said already. So, Santos, Brandon, reveal the box. We have a big box here full of the finest Deadpool merch that you will have to go on a massive journey to get if you want to get it for yourself. Trust me, these are so hard to get. First things first, though. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a Deadpool shirt on. Can the camera even see it?
Yes. I don't know. I have a Deadpool shirt too.
There you go. This is so scowl. The shirt I'm wearing, you can get it from the theaters. This is from Cineplex. There you go. You can see it. The one you're wearing is from Hot Topic, which I think is still available. That one's clearly going to be much easier to get because this, I can tell you right now, this shirt is sold out. Even the shirts, the blankets are sold out. Like, people are going crazy for the merch for this movie. And that's all thanks to one specific thing. The viral Wolverine popcorn buckets, which I don't have it yet. I ordered it. It's on its way. Still, unfortunately.
It'll be included in this video
Somehow.
somehow. It'll be.
Or it might be in the next episode or our next guest episode. So,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, eventually you're going to see me holding a bucket with Wolverine's mouth wide open. Or we're talking about that specific bucket. So in the meantime, while we wait for that glorious popcorn bucket to arrive, we have a bunch of other merch here that we can show you. So, Santos has the knife. Without stabbing any of us, would you please open the box? I think Brandon, you have to do it. It's too far. You're gonna. Wait, Santos.
Never mind.
Okay, he's got it. I thought he was gonna rip the box open. So let's not take everything out at once. There's a lot of stuff in there, so we'll go one at a time. I know everything that's in there already, so it's you. This is a live unboxing that we're going to be basically be doing. All right. Yeah, one at a time. Whoa. Okay, so that's the most delicate thing in the whole package. Yep. So
Glass.
Yeah, why is it glass?
okay, close enough. It's still fragile.
It's a Deadpool and Wolverine chalice.
Which you can get from Cineplex VIP. That's right, VIP only, because they serve this with a alcohol beverage of your choosing.
It was around like $30.
Yeah. Any kids that are hoping to get their hands on it, too bad. You must be in the VIP section to get it.
Get your parents to get it for you.
Exactly.
Wolverine looks very angry. He's like, and Deadpool's like, well, you can't see his mouth anyways. Deadpool's Wolverine's teeth look crooked, like, you know, he needs a dentist.
I wonder if it's washable. I don't think you stick that in the dishwasher, but you can hand wash it.
Yes.
All right, Santos.
Do you want to grab some Prime and drink out of it?
Made in China.
Of course. 6.5.
So next up, what is this? That is the floating head cups. You can open it.
You want us to unbox it? So it looks like in its packaging.
So you're holding the Wolverine floating head cup, and it should come with some straws. There's also a Deadpool floating head, but we'll look at the Wolverine one first.
So what's the idea? Is you just drink through it?
The straw goes through the head.
Okay, but how do you get the liquid in?
I think you twist the head. Give it a try.
I feel like I'm gonna break
Actually,
it.
yeah, don't. You might
Don't.
break it.
I'm like confused how you use it.
Oh, there you go.
Never mind, I just got it. Figured it out.
There you go. That's how you get the
You don't
drink in.
twist the head. You lift the head.
So this is also available in Cineplex. It was available. It's all sold out now.
You put it in here, you put it, and then you drink through the head. Which sounds. We have the Deadpool one, the same Deadpool version of this.
So what do you give the Wolverine floating head?
6 out of 10.
You?
5.
5. All right, now we have Deadpool's.
Same. 5.
Well, you're quick with it.
All right. Does the same exact thing. You can take the head off.
Super hard to find once again, but it was available at Cineplex.
It does say only in theaters, so yeah.
You have no idea the demand for these things is so high.
Very weird, considering they're like, in my opinion, kind of low quality. It's just plastic, right? Like I would
How
not.
much are they worth on eBay?
I think right now they'll go over 100 each.
Wait, really?
I saw on Facebook someone was selling these for 100. For the $6 jump to 100.
Yeah, this is worth $6. This is not worth 100. If you're paying 100, either you have way too much money or you.
Like if you have 100, you might as well pay for this. This is $30.
Yeah. Like, don't buy this if for 100.
If you can't find
unless,
it,
unless you
unless you really want it. If in my opinion, some of the stuff we're about to show you guys look even cooler than these. So
Anyways,
so save your money for
off
those.
to the side.
So that's the floating
leave it
head. So I guess we'll take a look at our first popcorn bucket, which is
The
not
garbage bucket.
it's not the official bucket. It's not the official bucket, not the Wolverine Big Mouth bucket, but this is a bucket you can get from Landmark Cinemas. If you're from Canada, you may have heard of this theater before. They have very luxurious seats. They have their own exclusive merch for this movie. This is one of them, the popcorn bucket. So take a look. The Landmark Cinemas bucket.
You can use it for trick-or-treating.
Yes.
But what about the graphics?
I don't know if you watch Deadpool in theaters, you should be going. I mean, you can go trick or treating, but most of the kids.
You can cosplay as Deadpool and Wolverine and go trick-or-treating.
I'd question if there's like a 10-year-old cosplaying as Wolverine.
There's Kidpool
I mean,
that
Deadpool.
exists.
You're like, do you know what happened in the movie? Did you actually watch it, or are you just cosplaying a random guy? Anyways, yeah, there's 3 images of Deadpool, which is pretty cool, and 3 images of Wolverine. A little bit of blank space on this side. There's like not much going on there. This is my only criticism. This part's a little bit, but like this side's really cool.
This is like the appetizer before the main bucket arrives.
Yes. To be fair, this one's more practical. The other one,
This was, I believe, $15.
15.
Includes the popcorn as well, obviously.
Okay.
So out of 10, the landmark bucket.
5. No, 4.
I'm gonna
It's
give
just plastic.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because I like the art.
Okay, so that's that. What's next? Back to Cineplex merch. These are very popular. These are the more special drink cups compared to the floating heads. So of course we have Deadpool and Wolverine here. Both are retailed for $17 each. Includes the drink, obviously, and the straw.
No straw.
But it's in the box somewhere.
It's the straw is missing, but it's somewhere.
It's somewhere.
It has like a rubber texture.
It's rubbery. The top opens up. The inside of the Wolverine is blue.
And Deadpool's is, what's the inside?
Black.
Black? Okay.
Yeah, I was assuming like it makes sense. On theme with the colors.
So these two cups are way more demanding than the floating heads.
Yeah, I think this one is much better quality. It's a cheap plastic. The front is rubber, but this whole thing is rubber, which gives it a nice grip. It's easier to hold the cups.
And it looks cooler, yeah. So let me tell you a
Just don't put it in the sun or the rubber will melt.
Okay, yeah, don't do that.
So what do you give the Deadpool one?
I like this one better because it feels like his whole mask is the bottle. His mask has this kind of like texture, like in the movie. Actually, you can see the texture, right? That kind of covers the whole bottle, most of it. So it kind of feels like this is his whole head. I don't know. That sounds funny, but yeah. Whereas Wolverine's mask is a different texture than the rest of the bottle. So I give this one 8 out of 10, and then this one's a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay. Next up, we have something from Hot Topic, which is the keychains. I unboxed it as well. So there's a necklace, and there's also the keychain. I did not buy the necklace. I did see the necklace, but I didn't buy it. And obviously, I don't control what I get in this package, so I guess we're stuck with the keychains. So that's the Wolverine. And it's, of course, it's based off this poster. I don't know if the cameras could pick it up, but it's this poster right here.
And they're magnetic. So
They are?
Yeah.
So the keychain says like best friends.
They're magnetic, apparently. Do you think it's a good souvenir?
Yeah, you could like give one to your friend, and then you always probably see those like heart things that are like best friends keychains that are, like they go together. This is like the Wolverine Deadpool version of it, which is cool.
Not a keychain person. So.
They are $16.90 Canadian from Hot Topic.
Not too bad. A little expensive, but it's a keychain, right? It's gonna last you if you do use keychains. They seem like they're decent quality as well, 'cause it's quite hefty.
If you can find it at Hot Topic, consider yourself lucky because they are sold out. Yes, this one. I can't believe this also sold out. I thought no one would care about blankets, but that also sold out. Go ahead and open it.
I'm not wearing it.
You don't have to wear it.
I'll wear it. Looks like Deadpool, Wolverine.
From Cineplex.
It shows on the side. It's like a blanket, jacket, sweater, hoodie blanket. It's called hoodie blanket. What is that?
Oh, so it's like a onesie?
Yeah, and then here.
Oh, that actually looks pretty cool. I guess that was worth $22.
There's no sleeve, so you just like it's a blanket with a hood. That's literally it.
This is definitely something you wear during the winter.
Sure, I'll wear it. Shall I wear it right now?
Yeah, you go. Be the model.
All right, I will model this. It was
Good enough.
And that's a new variant of Deadpool.
Yes.
His name is
Onesie Pool.
Onesie Pool.
onesie full. Where's my immortality and regen powers?
This is definitely something to wear during winter, not during the summer.
Quite nice.
Is it cozy?
Yes.
Don't fall asleep now. Take off the hood. Take off the hood.
Okay, continue with the review. I'll be back.
All right, next item. Oh yeah, what do you even give it out of 10?
I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, next up we have the Cineplex cups. That's the Cineplex one. These two are Landmark. Oh, there's the straws. That's where they are. Okay, we found the straws. I only got one for the floating heads, which is this black one. And then these two are for the special cups.
They're like plastic straws we used to get at like fast food places, but thicker.
Yeah, and so they're reusable. Now, this cup is the classic Cineplex cup. You know that this one should be pretty easy to get. Those are the more premium stuff. Oh, it's inside the cup. That's right. I was like, where is it? I think it's inside the cup.
Anyways, there's the top as a whole. The reason is because
I think the whole set is inside.
all right, this one's packed. So these are the cup toppers.
I gotta say, Godzilla X Kong only had 3, which was Scar King, Godzilla, and Kong. This one has 6.
And you only got 4.
Or it's 4. Sorry, this one has 4.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. No, you got there's only 4. Okay. Let's open them.
Let's open them. Yeah.
So one. Oh, this one's already open. Just that one. Okay. This is Baby Pool. He fits on top.
I mean, they should fit on top. But he's barely noticeable.
He is tiny. That makes sense. Laura, it's sized to scale.
It's kind of hard to pick him out, though.
And then the straw goes in, and then you can. Yeah.
Again, this is the common cup. This should be quite easy to get. The toppers will be a bit more of a challenge, but the cup itself is pretty easy to get. And then, yeah, it's the same quality as Godzilla X Kong's cup. So, what do you think of the cup first, before we look at the top?
I think decent design. It's art for the movie. Cuts off here. One of the swords gets cut off because of the printing, which is a little bit not great in my opinion. But yeah, I guess they have to. But I wish the sword went through here and like into behind like Deadpool's head. Would have been really cool. So I feel like could be improved. Besides that, not a bad cup. Let's get him out.
Now we have Wolverine.
So this one, a lot bigger, and it has like a little surfboard platform. So you can
Boy, not the most steadiest.
you can see that the platform is a lot bigger than the baby pool platform. It's just a small circle. It fits perfectly. This one's a little bit goes over. It still fits fine. Also, yeah, you can see that.
Oh, now it's fine. You just insecure it, I think.
He's a little loose.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah.
Yeah, you didn't press it.
It's not really anything to press though. It just goes in like this. Does it walk? He looks like he's about to attack you for drinking his liquids.
You remember the Scar King topper? It looked like he was constipated.
he's doing his business.
Well, I
in
guess
your
the
drink.
straw gets in the way of his.
Oh yeah, it's okay. You can like that.
I guess that works. What about Baby Pool, Santos? What did you think of Baby Pool?
Very lightweight.
Now this next topper is the most popular one.
For good reason.
Yeah.
It says buy me. Yeah. Some people are just buying. He's telling you to buy him. How can you say no?
When I was at the Cineplexus, I heard a lot of people ask the people like, "Oh, do you have the Deadpool buy me topper?" It was that one. Yeah.
So yeah, this one's round, so it fits perfectly stuck with the cup instead of the Wolverine one. So I think these ones are more stable.
Yeah, the Wolverine one was not stable.
Yeah, so this one is a lot more stable. You can see, and the baby pool too is pretty stable.
I mean, because Baby Pool was quite light in general.
Yeah. Just this one with the oval platform, a little bit more unstable because it's heavier. But yeah, this is probably my favorite one then.
Yeah, and a lot of people's favorites. It's the most popular one.
Buy me. You're just seeing buy me while you're drinking the drink you bought.
In the Deadpool cup.
Yes.
All right, last but definitely not the least, the most unique one I want to argue is Deadpool, which has a plastic hat. Santa's, yes, please get it off. There you go. Deadpool.
It also has pupils, which is kind of creepy.
It looks more realistic and scary. The comment you said about the pop, you said how it didn't
Yeah.
look that scary.
So this one has the a little scarier. It has like pupils in its eyes. It's kind of creepy. It fits in perfectly with the cup.
I think that looks the greatest on the cup.
Does it?
It looks appropriate.
Yeah. It's also stable.
Yes, please don't break him. I think the propeller is very fragile. That's why they have this to protect it.
So yeah, this one actually fits the cup the best. Actually, it's close between these two. This one's creepier though. If you want to stare at a floating skull while you're drinking, then be my guest.
What about you, Santos?
That one's better
Deadpool.
than this one.
So you like Deadpool?
Sure.
7, 6.5.
6.5 for the baby pool.
So
in case
6.5 baby pool, 6 for Wolverine, 7 for the 2 Deadpools.
I think most people are going to be trying to get. Usually, it's this cup and the toppers that get bought the most. Obviously, the stuff there is the more premium stuff. So, I think by this time, again, it's probably all sold out. So, if you can get your hands on it, well, good for you. So, yeah, the toppers are definitely collectible. I think that's why they're so attractive, because all the toppers are easily to get. It's like the Happy Meal toys. So yeah, that's the Cineplex Cup. So let's transition from Cineplex to Landmark once again. The Landmark Cups. So as you can see, there is 2 in there. I will be doing a giveaway. So I don't need 2 of the same cup. So everyone who leaves a comment here, I will randomly put all your names in a random spinner app. Whoever's the lucky winner will get one of these cups. But before I give one of them away, review it. So this is the Landmark Cup. So that one's Cineplex, this one's Landmark.
Alright, so one of the...
Landmark is like cheaper quality.
Is it?
It doesn't come with a lid. There's no lid included for these ones.
Cheaper quality. Also, why is there Coke on here? Why is there a Coca-Cola logo?
I think it's a collab.
I don't know. That ruins the immersion of Deadpool Wolverine, you know? Yeah. Deadpool, Wolverine, and Coca-Cola?
That's fair.
That is the new team up. So yeah, I don't know. The logo, no Coca-Cola logo.
6 out of 5. Next.
Whoa, wait, slow down. What were you, Brandon?
I'll go 5.5.
5.5. So you think Cineplex or Landmark? Who has the better cup?
Cineplex.
I agree.
Now we're going back to Cineplex. We're swapping between theaters. So we looked at the Landmark popcorn bucket. Now these 2 are different. They're different buckets. I'm not doing a giveaway for these ones. These are the Cineplex buckets. The common buckets. The regular buckets. You're about to see the more premium stuff in a second.
They are metal, like
They're tin buckets.
tin, so better quality than all the plastic ones so far.
They are both different, by the way.
Okay, so it's slightly different. This one has Wolverine on one side, Deadpool on the other. They're both like holding their weapons, basically. The other one has Wolverine and Deadpool, the face mask split thing they did earlier. One side has Deadpool posing for battle. Other one is
Posing for battle.
Sorry, that's Wolverine posing for battle. And then this is Deadpool doing ballet.
Oh yeah.
Or dancing or something. Anyways, this one. Yeah, the art's different. I think this one's kind of funnier. It's a different pose. This one's more generic, where they have like, I don't know, typical battle poses. So if you like this one. If you like the more wacky designs, then go for this one. Yeah.
I assume you're going to say this is better than Landmarks?
Yeah, because it's not plastic. And the art's pretty good too.
What about you, Santos? Between the 2 buckets.
I don't know, this one.
You like this one better?
Between these two? Oh, sure, this one.
Okay. So yeah, I actually thought they were the same buckets at first, but then I took a closer look. I was like, they are different. Good to know.
I must get all the merch.
I mean, I have what you're looking at here is all the merch except for that bucket, the crown jewel of all.
All the movie merch.
All the movie merch.
Like the theater
merch, yeah. So these are all the the lower tier buckets. Next episode, when we have our next guest episode, we're going to be showing the official Wolverine bucket. But Cineplex does have some premium buckets too. And let me tell you, these buckets are super, super expensive. They're all over $200. You want to buy it off eBay. Oh yeah. That one you're holding there is a US exclusive. So I don't even know how I got my hands on that, but you're holding a rare specimen there.
All right.
Unbox it.
Time to lower its value.
All right, there goes like $100.
So if you're lucky and pick it up in retail at the theater, you can pay $25 for it, which is already great. If you can't, good luck paying over $200 on eBay for it.
It's literally just Deadpool's head.
So this is bucket number 1, Deadpool, which I think you can open the head.
Yeah, we can. Let's look inside his brain.
Is there a way to do it? Oh, there you go.
So there's a lever. It opens like this.
I can't believe that's a lot of money.
Didn't smell like much.
What do you think? These were at Cineplex.
For $25, I can kind of see it, although the plastic is quite cheap, so not worth it in my opinion. For $25, it's just plastic.
I do think if you're getting popcorn buckets to eat popcorn, those are the buckets to do so. These are more for collecting.
This is collecting. I don't know if it's worth for $25, but if you're collecting, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah. If you want it, you want it. For whatever price it's going for right now, like $200, $300.
I guess it's US exclusive.
Yeah, that's a ripoff. Don't get it. I wouldn't recommend it.
You're trying to open it, but it keeps on closing.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can use it as storage, technically. You can put stuff inside his head.
Yeah, I guess you could. I just think the quality's kind of low. Also, yeah, it doesn't open. It doesn't stay open.
If you're trying to eat popcorn in that, that's gonna suck.
You open it and you're like, and then it closes on you.
And then some of the popcorn is gonna get knocked out of your hands.
Yeah, and then you just open it every time. So that's a flaw.
It's a collectible.
6 out of 10.
5 out of 10 for questionable usability.
But the mold is.
But its price is not justified.
It looks cool. I like the look of it. It's just, too expensive.
The price isn't justified. All right, the next collectible. Wolverine's bucket. This one is not as expensive as Deadpool's, thankfully. Wolverine's. Much bigger, actually. And I think, looking at it from here, I think the foundation is going to be a lot better.
This one still has tape on it.
That's right, there is tape on it. Is that to protect the fins?
Yeah.
Unlike the Deadpool one, the head, there's a hole here.
How do you get popcorn out of that one?
From the top.
I thought it was from the mouth.
That's the hinge, yeah.
Okay. So you open the front. This one actually stays, which is good. It's actually usable.
I don't know what... Oh, yeah, it's this mask.
So you can, do stuff.
Okay, well, this is not the bucket. This is not that's coming soon.
All right. It's not the same as the other one, but you could also use this bucket. Ways that I do not recommend. Bottom has a hole here for some reason. I guess they just wanted to, but here it's like a ramp, so it just kind of closed off space. But yeah, this one I like better because you can actually use it.
You can actually eat popcorn out of that one.
This one,
yeah, it just retracts itself.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it stayed.
Oh, it did work. But if you like...
Oh, yeah, you knock it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is almost impossible to get that even open.
So out of 10, what do you give the Wolverine bucket? The rip-off Wolverine bucket, not the bucket.
I'll give this a 7.5. This one gets like a 5.
So if this is the kind of quality you can expect for these buckets, what are your predictions for the bucket when it actually gets here?
I expect to be disappointed.
These buckets were designed by Cineplex. That bucket is designed by Deadpool himself. So
Ryan Reynolds?
yeah.
Okay, maybe a little bit less disappointed, but it's still a popcorn bucket, so I don't know what to expect.
All right, we have one more bucket. Is that all? Yes, that's all.
One last head. This one is... He has...
Why is he plastic wrapped?
It's for his injuries.
Does it come with a propeller? Or no?
Probably inside the bucket.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we'll need to open his head to get a propeller, I guess. There's plastic head wrapping around the whole thing.
Oh my god.
I don't want to risk cutting the bucket.
Yeah, that's true.
Scratching the paint.
Yeah. This one has like his mask is like kind of rubbery, flappy.
Again,
Oh yeah, there's a hinge.
there is. Ooh, this one feels high quality. There's the propeller. Yeah, there's a propeller.
2 propellers? No, 1 propeller.
And that one's a stand to hold it up. Yeah, assemble it.
Okay. Inside, there's like kind of like white lines. I don't know. It's like part of the mechanism. Oh, it's part of the stand. Yeah. Also, the front of the mask is kind of rubbery. You can see the mask. So you can't really move it around very efficiently because the rubber will just get like...
Well, that's what
That's why the stand is for. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. That explains it.
And then I figured it had to come with a propeller. It was inside the bucket.
Okay. This makes more sense.
Also, it looks like it's floating.
Yeah, I think that's the
Very thematic.
the stand is achieving that. I think right now on the market it's going for, I think this one is the cheapest compared to these two, which makes sense. I think it's going for $100 at least.
Okay, so yeah, propeller actually spins.
Ooh, that's actually quality. If you pay $25 for that if you get it from the theater and pay $25 for that, you got a pretty solid deal,
All right, including popcorn, right?
including the popcorn. Yeah,
All right, not bad.
that's actually not bad.
Actually stable. The propeller doesn't like topple it over or anything.
No, this one actually has quality.
Probably the best one so far.
Yeah, definitely.
What did I give that Wolverine one?
You said 7, right? You also said 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is like an 8. Probably, yeah. Wolverine's like a 7. This is an 8.
What'd you say about the front? It felt like soft plastic.
Yeah, I feel it. So the mask is
Oh yeah,
rubber.
it's like rubber. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the jaw can move.
Yeah. I can't reach it, but yes.
Now that makes sense. Cause you have more.
Nah, this is definitely a high quality bucket. There you go. That's all the merch. Literally. In Canada, at least. AMC has a couple other ones I don't have, such as there's a baby pool bucket. I'm not going to get that. I'm not paying scalper $200 for it. So this is basically the lineup of merch from Canadian theaters, that being Cineplex and Landmark mainly. I don't suppose any of the independent theaters will be able to get their hands on these. If they can, well, that's good for them. But these are definitely some collectibles going up for a lot of money. And so that's the whole set, including the blanket that Brandon's wearing. That's, yeah. So let's bring out line them up on the table. Which merch was your favorite from
This one.
the head pool bucket? What about you? I think mine definitely is also the head pool bucket. It just feels so high quality, especially if I paid $25 for it. So once again, shout out to the supplier for sending me this package to do this video on. Good luck to everyone who's looking for these merch. It's been over a week since the movie's been out, so good luck. It may be a very challenging task for you to find these things because they are super, super sold out. Very sold out. Next episode, most likely with our next guest, you will hopefully be able to see us review the bucket, the main bucket. So I think that one's actually available for pre-ordering right now on AMC, which will ship in November. We've gotten to the point where theaters are selling popcorn buckets as collectibles, not as just a fun souvenir. And yeah, well, I hope the bucket will get here within this week. Fingers crossed. But anyways, that's the episode. I think this was a pretty content-filled episode. And this section will obviously be extracted into a main channel video. Edited down, of course, but we're going to still keep it here in this episode as the non-filtered, non-edited version. Lots of merch to go. If there's any merch that you think is standing out, drop a comment. Again, drop a comment because I'm giving away one of the landmark cups. So if there's not enough entries, I might just keep an extra one. We shall see. Or I might just give it to one of you guys. We shall see. So thanks for watching. For the love of God, please give this video a like and subscribe. Especially this section of all the merch here was a painful process to get it, but I wanted to do it get content for this show. So let me know which merch stands out to you. I think Brandon really likes that blanket, doesn't he? And let us know what you think of the movie if you haven't seen it yet. Sorry.
His interests changed from body pillows to blankets.
There we go.
Okay, I was never interested in body pillows in the first place.
We learned something new about Brandon today. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Still playing in theaters right now. It will be out on digital maybe in like November or something. I don't even know how movies work these days. But yeah. And to all the Godzilla X Kong people, don't worry. We still got content coming your way with the Monsterverse. If you have not watched our if you have watched our toy review where these two reviewed the Monsterverse toys by Playmates, go check that out. Something to appease you guys. So, yeah, I'm done yapping. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do all the good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.